Hi, Greg here again, and this time I'm going to be taking you through a little bit of a screencast or introduction to using ToonDoo, as you can see up here. And the first thing that we would want to do is to sign up for free. And we are going to sign up for ToonDoo. First of all, we have to come up with a username. So in this case, I'm going to go with ToonDoo Greg Lewis. Oh, it won't let me good. So let's go ToonDoo Greg Lou. And my password, well, it's my password, isn't it? And my email ID, I created one at Gmail. So that should be good. And we'll just wait for ToonDoo to do its thing. Would you like to save this password? Sure, because it's my own personal computer. Now, I believe I'm logged in, but in the future, if you came back to the site, you'd want to log in, obviously. Now, for the most part, under tunes, we're going to be looking at create a tune. And later on, once you've made some tunes, that's where you'd find it, is under My ToonDoos. So create a tune. And yeah, okay, it wants me to sign in. So let's do that. Excellent. Now, what we're interested here is the 4-panel layout that's on Part B, the assignment, the rubric that you were given. And it'll just take a little bit of time for the ToonDoo gears to whiz and whir around. Now, presently it's called Untitled. I think probably what I'd want to do is save it right away. And for this one, I'm just going to call it ToonDoo Screencast. If I really wanted to give it a description, I could give it some tags. Now, one of the things I think is really important here is for you to uncheck this box. We don't want to let others redo your ToonDoo or your cartoon, if you like. Allow others to purchase this tune? Sure. You know, it's a big moneymaker. Yeah, good one. So it's up to you whether you leave that or not. Down here, under your options, you've got Publish to the World, Keep it Private, or Share with your friends. For the most part, for me, I don't have a problem with publishing it to the world, and so I would leave that the way it is and click Publish. And right now it says your ToonDoo is ready, but we really haven't done anything with it. So I could print it right now, I could do the go-to page, or I could just click OK, which says, yeah, I know what's going on. So what you're asked to do is deal with standard number 2, which deals with teachers acting honestly and ethically. And it's really up to you what you want to do with this theme, if you like, or this standard. I think probably the first thing that I do is start with some backgrounds. So once I have a theme or an idea, and remember, you're going to have to kind of get it across to the reader relatively quickly because you only have the 4 panels. It is a small cartoon. It doesn't have to be totally deep here, and you're not going to have the space or time. So what I normally do is I start with the backgrounds, and depending on what you're doing, some of them look like a school, let's say, or a room, or something that might contribute to what it is you're trying to, get across to the reader. They have different headings, obviously, and it's up to you to drag one in there. So for now, what else do I have here? Space, abstract, fantasy, sports, and scenery. So I'm going to try indoor. I'm going to go back to what I was. And if I click on this button here, it'll take me to sort of more backgrounds. So this could be a classroom. This one is interesting because it looks like a bar. Can you see where this is going? So it really, it's up to you what you're going to do here, and I'll leave that alone. We've got some props or some objects that you can insert. You've got caption or text. And so this is kind of important. And maybe before we do that, let's pick a character. So under here, I'm going to elect to go for a woman in my story, and it's going to be about a teacher. So let's just say it's this teacher. So we're still here, and I have my character up top, and she's kind of big. So we're going to shrink her a bit. So if I come down here to the shrink box, it's really a simple matter of me making her the size that I want, and then simply moving her around. Now let's give her something to say, and I'm going to choose this one, and possibly, I don't know, I suppose this one speaks to me, so I'm going to drag it in. Okay, and again, using the shrink button, I can kind of make it more to the size that I want, and then I can pull it down. And once I'm in here, I can also go back, or I can start typing. So now you'll notice that it's moved over, so I just have to adjust that a bit. And again, I can use the shrink tool. You don't want to get it too small because you want people to be able to see it easily. Okay? And from here, I would go along with my story. Now, just extrapolating a bit here, let's go back to my character, and I may want to take her. She looks a little bit more, I don't know, dressed for the occasion, if you like. Okay, there's also other characters that I can deal with. And, you know, you've got some Susies, kind of, or some students down there. You've got an older granny. And then you've got some other beauties here. So I may, in fact, want to get rid of her and bring in something, another character like this. And this character, wow, we can certainly, you know, she's now up on the bar dancing, although it's hard to see. And this one may be thinking something like, oh, I don't know, let's go over here, and we've got a thought bubble, and let's pull it in, and we'll just do a few things. You know, something like, I should go home. Something like that. Okay? And then maybe I have the ending of the story. Who knows how it goes. My point is, if you want to try and get rid of different things, you can. And the toolbar down here is pretty well straightforward. Clone button, you can make it the same. You can flip the character back and forth. One thing that's kind of interesting is the trader button. And this is where I can create my own sort of avatar, if you like. Okay? So you can rotate the head by just pulling here. What's going on here? Or I can start to look at hair, and I can pick a whole bunch. You can come up with some pretty bizarre looking configurations. I can play around with eyes. You know, I can do whatever I want. So you can have a whole lot of fun with this. And, you know, I'm just being crazy here, but you could even, let's go with that one. Oh, yikes. Anyways, you can create your own trader, give it a name, save it, and you could even create your own profile picture using your own trader, which is kind of neat. Regardless, that's sort of ToonDoo. You can upload a reference picture or a picture that you would want to use in your ToonDoo. Okay? And remember that you can always save it. Okay? Now sometimes saving takes a little bit of time, so I think probably the easiest way to deal with that, and this is where I talked in class about the clipping tool, is to click on the clipping tool, and this is Windows 7, so there's others, and to simply, if this was my ToonDoo and I was happy, I would simply drag it around the whole thing, and then do a save as, give it a name, and put it somewhere that was convenient for me, or safe if you like. And that is my finished product that I would then submit via Dropbox and D2L, and that would be just fine. It's nice and clear, it's clean, and I think that's just fine. hopefully this has been useful to you. I know it's a short one, but it goes through the sort of main points of using ToonDoo. Thanks very much for listening. See you later.